Lawrence Paul Visoski Jr. is a veteran American aviator who flew for financier Jeffrey Epstein for nearly 3 decades, a fact confirmed through sworn court testimony in United States v. Ghislaine Maxwell, Southern District of New York, November 29, 2021. Source: Trial Transcript, pages 191 to 194. Federal Aviation Administration records list him as a licensed commercial pilot with active medical certification. Source: FAA Airman Certification Database, 2024. His employment was arranged through Epstein's aviation company, JEGE LLC, under which he operated a series of aircraft, including a Boeing 727, a Gulfstream G2, a Gulfstream G4, and a Cessna 421. Source: FAA Type Certificates, Miami Herald, 2018. In testimony, Visoski described Epstein as a demanding but safety-focused employer and detailed that his own duties included flight planning, maintenance oversight, and transporting Epstein, associates, and household staff between New York, Palm Beach, New Mexico, Paris, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Source: Trial Transcript, pages 200 to 206. The Miami Herald's perversion of justice investigation later matched those destinations with FAA traffic logs. Source: Miami Herald, 2018. Flight data compiled by Visoski and other pilots became central to investigations after authorities reopened the Epstein case in 2019. The government exhibits titled Flight Logs 1995 to 2019 from U.S. v. Epstein, SDNY 19CR490 detail airports, dates, and aircraft serial numbers. These entries identify origin and destination, but generally do not record passenger lists. Source: Court Exhibit 1A. Media outlets such as Business Insider later uploaded redacted versions to DocumentCloud. Prosecutors emphasized that names appearing on manifests did not by themselves establish knowledge of or involvement in alleged crimes. Source: FBI Press Statement, 2019. When called as a government witness at Ghislaine Maxwell's 2021 federal trial, Visoski confirmed the authenticity of the aircraft and described cabin layouts, but he testified that he had never observed sexual activity on board. Source: Trial Transcript, pages 210 to 216. He explained that Epstein's guests were treated as ordinary passengers, with Maxwell often coordinating travel logistics. Source: Trial Transcript, pages 225 to 228. Federal records show that Epstein's Boeing 727, long referred to in media coverage as the Lolita Express, was deregistered in 2013 when ownership was transferred to one of Epstein's Virgin Islands companies. Source: FAA Registry N908JE. Analyses by the New York Times and The Guardian aligned the frequency of Epstein's flights with key periods in his legal history: the Florida state and federal probes between 2005 and 2008, his non-prosecution agreement in 2008, and new federal charges in 2019. Sources: NYT August 19, 2019, Guardian, July 10, 2019. Following Epstein's death in 2019, civil cases such as Giuffre v. Maxwell, SDNY 1:15-CV-07433, again cited the pilot's logs, but Visoski himself was not accused of wrongdoing, appearing only as a factual witness. Source: Civil Docket, Giuffre v. Maxwell. According to a BBC report from December 2021, he restated that his role was limited strictly to aviation operations. Source: BBC News, December 1, 2021. Legal analysts noted that the government's use of his testimony underscored how logistical evidence, dates, and destinations could support broader investigative timelines without implying personal culpability. Source: Harvard Law Today, December 2021. The subsequent release of selected flight logs provided rare insight into Epstein's travel network linking residences in New York, Palm Beach, New Mexico, and the Caribbean. Those records, however, could not alone confirm the nature of activities alleged by victims or witnesses. After Maxwell's conviction in December 2021, news agencies, including Reuters, reported Visoski's expression of sympathy for victims who testified and his acknowledgement that some of the passengers he transported later turned out to be survivors of abuse. Source: Reuters, December 30, 2021. Today, the FAA still lists his pilot's license as valid, and no criminal charges have been filed against him. Source: FAA Airman Certification Database, 2024. For investigators and historians, Visoski's meticulous record-keeping remains a rare, solid set of primary data connecting otherwise opaque movements to verifiable times and places. It illustrates both the reach of Epstein's operations and the limits of what flight records can truly reveal. As legal experts continue to stress, presence on a flight manifest indicates location, not intent, and must always be interpreted within that limited evidentiary frame. Source: FBI Press Statement, 2019, Harvard Law Today, December 2021. All information here is derived from public, verifiable records, including U.S. court transcripts, FAA databases, and major journalistic investigations, without speculation or identification of any non-public victims. For living individuals, such as Lawrence Visoski Jr., statements of unproven conduct are presented only as alleged or as reported. Before any broadcast or publication, producers are advised to subject this material to legal and ethical review to ensure compliance with privacy and defamation standards.